Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about delivery partner stats on Grubhub. So with a lot of these gig apps, we have a certain rating system available to us, mainly on Grubhub for the most part, specifically with DoorDash and Uber Eats, but Grubhub is testing a delivery partner stats system with their driver recognition program in select markets. I don't know if it's widespread yet. I don't know if this is going to stay, but I think it's important to talk about, especially since there's a fair amount of confusion on the surface level. So with that said, I want to go over everything that Grubhub is saying about delivery partner stats, how it actually is for gig workers on Grubhub, and everything in between. But before we go into that, let's start with a disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain, is never intended to be, legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that this is a very market-to-market thing, especially since it's only available in select markets. So what applies to me as a driver may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. What are delivery partner stats? Stats are metrics that are updated in real time used to calculate your activity as a Grubhub delivery partner. Now, here's the thing about the concept of it being updated in real time. Factually accurate, yes, unlike other apps like DoorDash and Uber Eats, where they base it on the past 100 of the orders you complete or orders you accept or anything like that. They measure it based on time. This is your last 14 days. It's not the last 100 orders or 200 orders or 50 orders or 20 orders or anything like that. It's literal time, which is very unusual for a gig app. Offer commitment rate. How many offers you accept and follow through on, as well as how many offers you unassign after accepting. So again, this is a little unusual. Usually it's you accept an order and that's its own rating, and then you complete an order and that's its own rating, or you cancel an order and that's what they have instead of completion. For Grubhub, they're one and the same. This is the example that they use. Offer commitment 98%, which is very unusual, but it allows you to have access to their Premier program. If you don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the driver recognition program, you could check out my video on that subject. I'll leave it in the description. Feel free to check it out. Tips for success. Accept offers quickly or they'll go to someone else. Here's a real tip for success. Accept orders that actually make sense to accept, or decline it and force them to have to raise the value of that order in order to actually have that order completed, because no one should be accepting an order less than what they're willing to put themselves out for. An offer only counts as accepted if you complete the delivery. Yeah, so this goes back to what acceptance means on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Acceptance means you were on the accept screen, you had clicked accept. Whether or not you complete the order is a different story. But in Grubhub, you have to accept and complete the order for the offer commitment rate to be increased. Cancellations from merchants or diners will never count against you. So offer commitment rate doesn't get affected by external circumstances, such as a diner canceling an order or a merchant canceling an order, or even support canceling the order for you. It's affected by your action. So if anybody's trying to get you to unassign the order, don't, because that's going to affect you at the end of the day. Unassigning yourself from an offer before it's completed will lower this stat. Declining orders will do that. Accepting an order and unassigning will do that. The only thing that's going to raise a stat is accepting and completing orders. On-time arrival at merchant rate. How you promptly arrive at the restaurant or merchant to pick up an order. Again, this goes back to how unusual Grubhub is in comparison to other apps, because on-time rating should also be for the customer. On-time arrival at the merchant rate, that is inconsequential in my opinion, unless you're so late to the merchant that the customer gets their order late. fine. If you're late to the merchant, that could be for many things. Maybe the customer didn't tip, so it got declined a number of times, so you're late to the order. There's traffic on your way to the merchant, or a bunch of different things. Another point on this I'd like to mention is that if you're multi-apping, this is going to be a big deal because one, you shouldn't be multi-apping in a dirty way to where you're accepting orders while you still have them. Now you're being rated to show up to the merchant on time, and with Grubhub's reputation for having really late orders, it's getting pretty bad. I know that they're getting better about it now, but that reputation is still out there, you know? Tips for success: head out as soon as you accept an order so it doesn't get reassigned. Yeah, as you're completing an order, let's say you get delayed for some reason getting to the merchant, what it's going to do is going to send you a notification saying you're almost there, you gotta get to the merchant, and they'll do this for the customer too, but you're not being rated to be on time to the customer for some weird reason. You're being rated to be on time to the merchant. The closer your arrival time is to the arrive by time on your map, the higher this stat will be. I don't know why they put it that way. In my opinion, you're either on time or you're not, but to each their own. Don't worry, restaurant delays will never affect your on-time arrival rate. You're going to have the situation where you're going to accept an order. It's going to give you two options: navigate or details. You're going to get to the restaurant, go to details, you're going to click arrive. The sooner you click arrive, the more you're considered to be arrived. Now, they won't allow you to say you're arrived when you're not there yet, and restaurant delays don't affect it because by the time you're there, you've already arrived to the restaurant. I'm more concerned about whether or not we would get a contract violation for the restaurant delays, but they don't mention that in this particular rating. Schedule commitment rate: how many blocks you complete and how many you remove from the schedule you've created. So with Grubhub, you have two types of people who deliver on block and people who deliver off block. People who deliver on block have more priority to orders, especially for those of you who are making sure that you're scheduled every week, but you're being rated for how much you commit to that schedule. This one should be the easiest to follow through on, but some drivers like to commute to their starting point, and some drivers even multi-app, so this can be a little shaky overall. Tips for success: we know life can be unpredictable. If you need to remove a block you've scheduled, and you could do so within 30 minutes of picking up the block without it affecting your stats. So if you need to remove the block, you can do so 30 minutes before actually hopping on said block. They will notify you an hour before you have to hop on, and they will notify you at the point in which you would need to hop on it, assuming you're offline. I haven't had too much issue with that. It hasn't affected me much as a driver, but going deeper into how scheduling works on Grubhub will have to be in a different video. Now, I do have some side notes about the Grubhub partner stats that I would like to go over. No customer rating. Kind of. So, I don't know if you noticed, especially if you've driven on DoorDash and Uber Eats, there is no customer rating. Every stat here is based on the actions you are taking as a driver. Now, does that mean you're not being rated by customers? No. It means Grubhub isn't telling you about the ratings you have. Now, some people like that because they only have to worry about the work they're actually doing, and they're not having to worry about things like what the customer's saying or anything like that. But then there are also the drivers who are like, I don't want to think about it, I just want to do my work and go home, and that's it. Now, do I think that we should be rated at all? Not really. I think that there's a lot of things that are too far outside of a driver's control for us to be taking the brunt of the ratings, but there's only so much we could do about that. Mainly for driver recognition program. Again, these stats are all based on the actions you're taking on the platform, and they're mainly for the driver recognition program, which is not available in all markets yet, but they do allow you some perks, such as catering orders in some markets and earlier access to scheduling in others. Some people don't really care for either of those things, so they don't bother with it. I don't blame blame them, but it is the main reason that we have Grubhub Partner Stats to begin with. Cannot be deactivated for these stats. This mainly pertains to order commitment and scheduling commitment rate. I'm pretty sure if you're late to the merchant too many times, you can be deactivated. That being said, you're not gonna be deactivated for not accepting orders. You're not gonna be deactivated for not hopping on the schedule enough. You're independent contractors. Your contract cannot allow you to be deactivated for those reasons. Will some drivers be deactivated for other reasons and it's really about that? Sure, I think there was a huge issue relatively recently about a lot of drivers being deactivated. That was really more like they were clearing a bunch of older drivers overall. It wasn't so much about the acceptance rating. Contract violations are greater than driver stats. This goes back to the point of getting deactivated. You should be more concerned about getting a contract violation than having poor driver stats. Contract violations are literally that. They're a violation of contract. You can be deactivated for that. Now, it's gonna take 3 strikes. That's something you should be more concerned about as a driver than having a specific stat or being a part of a specific program. Again, that's for another video, but unless you're trying to access the driver recognition program, don't worry too much about the stats on Grubhub. You're more concerned about getting the work done properly and not getting contract violations. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about Grubhub that we haven't been talking about in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that everybody understands everything that needs to be said about the Grubhub partner stats and how it pertains to the driver recognition program as well as the gig workers associated with Grubhub. And we can all make the most amount of money as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.